Okay, so last time we did monads and we finished all of these exercises. So we saw that this bind function is how you declare instances. Like if you implement the bind function for different type classes, you can declare them as an instance of monad. And we talked about how fmap has this signature and which is like a function and then some value in a context, and it produces a value in a context. And then apply takes this function in a context and a value in a context and returns a value in a context. And then bind is this new kind of variation on this theme where we go from instead of the function being in a context, the function takes a value, a regular value, and then returns a new value inside some context, and then takes another value in that same context, and then binds this value, this like monadic value, gets this regular value, kind of unwraps this context, and then inject and just kind of wraps this new context around it, or the same context around it. But yeah, so it's kind of like hard to say, but like the first example was just like list. Well, exactly one was the first example, but then list, we did flat map, which takes a function which takes a single value and then returns a list, and then it also takes another list, but it doesn't return a list of lists. It just returns a single list. So that's kind of where we're even though that this function kind of lifts this value into a function or into a context, it's not double wrapped. And we talked about join and how that's kind of like flattening for lists. A lot of interesting discussion. But before we dive into the next module, which let me bring that up, preview. So the next module in the course is FileIO. So we're going to actually put some of this stuff to use, which is really exciting. And by actually put it to use, I mean like there's some exercises which are very easy to think like something you would do in a regular kind of workflow, or if you're building an application to provide value to users and stuff. So but before we get onto that, I wanted to throw out a few things. One, I just want to thank the response I've gotten from everyone. I've shared these videos on a number of platforms like Twitter and on Reddit, and the response has been really positive, and I want to just thank everyone for that. This is a comment from in-game DOS, I love the name, about the applicative module, and just addressing a bunch of questions that I asked on stream. Like for instance, what's a type that can't be a functor? And in-game DOS here lays out excellent example, an excellent example here. I don't want to read through this whole thing. I will put a link to this in the video description on YouTube, so that people can follow up with it. But I read through this and it was really helpful. The other thing I want to mention is I asked in the applicative video, like, why is exactly one, that class, useful? So we have this exactly one class, and we implemented the applicative instance for exactly one, and then now this monad instance. And I said, is this just a toy class to kind of challenge us to do something? And in-game DOS here explained that exactly one is the identity functor. One reason, it's the identity for functor composition. So there might be some situation where it says there are libraries that want to accept a functor, but don't care which functor. And you might not want to pass in a functor, you might just want to pass in a value. And so you can just pass in this identity functor. So it's useful where you have these situations where you have some function or application that takes a value wrapped in a data type that's an instance of the functor type class. But you don't really want that. So it's like an identity type class or identity data type. I thought that was really interesting. Pedro asks, which subreddit? That's the Haskell subreddit, just r/r/Haskell. And then let's see if there was no, not on that, but there was a really nice feedback on this the monad course I did from Calvin, and I just want to thank Calvin for his response. And what was useful, we talked a little bit about this intuition of monads as like containers and how that eventually breaks down. And what we talked about is how really a better intuition is a context or an environment or even like a playing field or a universe. So it's like how to explain this. So maybe a better intuition, instead of like a container, which is breaks down with the function or the reader T data type, is more like you have some context that changes the implications of a function application. So exactly one, that's actually really helpful for thinking about exactly one as the identity functor, because it's like exactly one is like a context where nothing changes to function application. Let's see, let's maybe go through these and try to explain it in those terms. So list, what about the list context? So list is a context where function application may or may not happen. It's kind of like, I don't know, maybe that's pushing it too far. I was going to say something like Schrodinger's cat, but no, I don't think it's that far. It's basically, if it's an empty list, it won't, the function application will be aborted and won't happen. But if the list has one or more elements, then that function will be applied to every element in the list. So it has this kind of interesting consequence or set of rules that change the way function application works on that specific type of value, a list value. So what about optional? Very similar. It's just that it's at most one value, not a list of values. And then the reader T data type works much better thinking with that in mind than the whole container thing, because it's basically like saying when we were talking about join last time and bind, it's like the context for reader says whenever you apply a function, it must take this context or this argument as its first argument. So if you think about these monadic data types, these contexts, maybe I should say, and it doesn't necessarily have to be monad because it's applicative as well, because fmap is kind of the same thing, right? So it's more like, I think I've gotten my point across. Instead of thinking of it as container, think about it as a certain like playing field. I'm almost thinking of like Magic the Gathering or something, where it's like someone plays a card and now the rules of the game have like slightly changed. Oh, like now if you like, play a creature, then it gets like +2 attack or whatever. So it's like these different data types change the rules of the game, like for like in that context. And so maybe I'm stretching it too far at this point, but I just want to thank Calvin for that. And so the other quick thing I'll mention is I've upgraded my equipment here. So I bought good kind of low budget webcam, but still better than what I was using. And then I bought this kind of like medium quality Yeti microphone. And so please give me feedback on, is this the same? Is this way better? What else can I do to improve? The other thing you'll notice is I am running Linux, Ubuntu now. So very much a learning curve for me. Just went with Ubuntu. I didn't go with any of the fancier like Arch or NixOS, but that's something I would be interested to look into. But I just wanted to go with simple for now and not be distracted by too many shinies. And so yeah, I'm rocking Ubuntu now, and it's way snappier. So well, except we're still downloading. Appears we're still downloading the dependencies for this, so this will be interesting. Hopefully, it doesn't take too long. FileIO, let's do it. If I can actually get the hotkeys to work. FileIO. Okay, what do we got here? Useful functions. Let's see, maybe I'll bump this up a little bit. Useful functions. Get args. Put string line, read file, lines void. Abstractions, applicative monad. All of these things. Tuple functions could help. First, second, and I guess this is building a tuple. So x equals. So wait, this thing is a function. The comma is a function. So can you do that prefix like 1 and 2? No, I guess you have to do it like this. Say x equals this. Type of x. Okay. Yeah, so the comma is how you build a tuple. And then you can get the first element. So I can say first x and get 1. And I can say second x and get 2. Problem. Given a single argument of a file name, read that file. Oh, I can do it prefix, but I have to do it like so. Okay, thanks. Read that file. Each line of that file contains the name of another file. Read the reference file and print out its name and contents. Okay. So we'll have a single argument, which is a file name, and that file has lines, each of which contain the name of some other file. And we need to read that and read those files. Okay, try to avoid repetition. So here's the example. Given the file files.txt containing a.text, b.text, c.text, and a.text containing this string and this string and this string for B and C, then running main and then share/files, which is the oh, Matt Parsons. He contributed that. That's cool. He's on the functional programming Slack. I don't know it. Like all my hotkeys are wrong because I'm used to Mac OS hotkeys. Let's see. Show in file tree. Show in tree. Show file in. File review. Oh, it's not even like assigned in this. It's annoying. Whatever. So can't even open the tree. Yeah, so share files. Yeah, usually I have like a hotkey that will open this current file in the tree. It's annoying. Yeah, but this files.txt has these 3 lines in it. And then there's an a.text file. Whoops. A.text. Yeah, and a b.text and a c.text. So A just contains the contents of A. Reveal and sidebar, that's what it is. Yeah. So yeah, so we have files, and then we have A, the contents of A, B, contents of B, C. So then we just need to read this file and then read each file in this file basically. And then when we do that, then yeah, so when we run this command, it should look like this. That's all we need to do. So let's try. I feel like I'm coding with like one hand behind my back. Wrap line. I just I go it the old-fashioned way. File. Okay, so we're gonna start. I guess the last function main here at the end. So we do that last. We're gonna build up the pieces first. So given the file name and file contents, print them. Use put string line. So it takes a file path, and file path is just string, right? File path. Where's file path defined? Maybe somewhere else. Where's the type of file path? Oh, it's got a capital P. Not scope. FileIO. Okay, there it is. Oh, it's in list? That's weird. But it's a list of characters, so it's basically just string. Yeah, forgot the uppercase P. So it basically takes a file path and then wait. It takes the file name and the contents and prints them. I guess we're doing this basically. We're not actually fetching the contents yet. We just want to format it like so. So I guess we use this function. Let me say put string line. We could just do this string. Can you concatenate strings like that? Actually, don't even know. Is it like this? Maybe if I look in list. There's a bunch of helper functions down here. String concat. Yeah, this is getting a little clunky. Like, I like that you make like define up like the linear progression where you're building all your own like versions of everything is cool until like this kind of stuff, I think. So I'm curious like what is we did like a regular GHCI. What is the regular string concat? Yeah, it's just this thing. So then string concat type. What was that called? Oh, both plus plus works too. That's interesting. Oops. Okay, interesting. So then, what did he call it? List. I think there's one for stir concat. Maybe that's what we need. Can I show my GHCI in the FP course folder? Yeah, I can. Are you wondering why these don't work? It's because we this no implicit prelude, and then basically because it's this linear progression thing, none of the default stuff works. Like there's not even like default lists and whatnot. So so we have this function, I guess, which uses our like custom list or something. So if we do stir concat, I think that's what it wants us to do. So maybe not. Course should load these. Or are they not even available? Yeah, they're available. So it takes chars. Oh, it takes an array of chars. So then like it takes like this. Oh, okay. So then we can use that. None of my hotkeys work. So then, so I'm just going to be kind of silly and do stir in just so I can build up these things, and then do I think I want that, and then I want, let's see, can I do like multiple things like this? Yeah. So then I want to concat the name of so these, so I want to concat like these equal signs, and then I guess a space, and then the name of the file path, and then a new line, and then the contents. So it actually takes the contents here. So contents. And then that's it, I think. I might want like a new line after the contents. Let's see. So let's see if this compiles. No. Yeah, see, this is annoying because it's like couldn't match list of char with list char because it's like our default one. But I think if I do something like hlist, which I have this function hlist that takes my custom list and puts it into a regular list, which is kind of stupid, but now what's the other kind? Oh, it's saying it's an actual string instead of chars. So maybe I do need this string concat. Print file fc's line. What is that? So do I have this available though? So what is, I mean, let me ask this. So maybe I should just say to do. To do chars. So I need a chars, and this is a GHC base string. Let me see. Close these. String line. Get args. Let me do this. Browse. Course. Oops. List. So I'll try your solution here in the second page, or I don't know if that's the problem. I thought I had a concat though. Yeah, see, I did this. Yeah, so maybe you're right. Maybe I should be able to do. Oh, you know what? Maybe the reason I can't do it is I have to do something like this. And so I can like concat two lists like this. Is that what it wants me to do? Yeah, so that's wonky. So I need a chars, but this is a base string. Is there a function that goes from like a base string to a one of my strings, or yeah, so maybe hlist. But that's what I thought like would work the first time. Okay, I'll just try your solution. Print file, line, contents where line is. So what is this? What is this thing? Oh, did we do that? Oh, it's like a const. It just ignores the right side. Let's see if this compiles. No. Oh, I need to. Yeah. Oh, okay, that does work. Print file. Test. I guess there's no. Might not be any test for this. Yeah. So I might just have to manually test it, like file. So it takes the file path, which we said was share files.txt, and it takes the contents. Aha, okay, that works. So let me see. Okay, so you're putting each of them, and then because put stir line. Okay, so this is some like IO context. So then you so you run the first IO, and then the result is just unit here. And then this just throws away that result and then runs this one. Interesting. Okay. Why not just concat all of them? Like plus C's. Shouldn't this work? I think I want to like a new line here. Maybe I can't just do a bunch of concats like that. No, that works. Print file. Okay, yeah. So I think that's what we want, right? Sort of. Try exactly 1A, and then I don't know how to read this operator. That was in here though. Yeah. Oh, it's just this thing. What did we call that? Right apply, maybe? Right apply. Okay. So then if we do exactly one A, right apply exactly one B. Why is that not in scope? Should be. Yeah, I don't know why that's not in scope. Exactly one. Load source course. Oh, okay. Yeah, so it just throws away. That throws away the left value. And then do we have this as well? No. We should have this. Okay. But I can just do this. Which solution is like preferable in your mind, Pedro? It kind of seems like okay, reload with R. Okay, I'll do that. They're the same to you. Okay, I'll stick with this one then. It's easier for me. Given a list. Oh, I'm struggling so much with the hotkeys. Given a list of file name and file contents, print each. Okay, so a list of tuples where the first element is the file path and the second is the contents. So then copy line is really bothering me. Join lines. Oh, it's not even assigned. It's annoying. It's usually one existing command has this. View toggle panel. I think I'm used to that. Oh, it's so much nicer. Okay. So with this list of tuples, and then I think I just want to map some function over them, and the function, I think I can pattern match, right? So I can say I can unpack. So x's is a list of these things, and then I'll map a function over them that pattern matches, grabs the file path and the characters out, and then I just call print file fpcs. Actually, no, I guess I do need, I can't ever do this because I need to unpack it like that. Oh, hey, Pluminator. I'm only here for a bit. Got brunch plans. Oh, cool. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I got a new camera and a new mic, and I'm rocking Ubuntu, Linux, and Pedro's been very patient with me, watching me struggle. I had to like install Haskell and like just been struggling with all the hotkeys are different and everything. So we're getting there. We're getting there. So let's see. Map. I think this will work. Reload. Oh, expected type. IO, not list IO. Yeah, I'm just thinking through what my options are, because will flat map even help me here? Why is it not scope? Oh, that's why. Yeah, that's annoying when I think I need like defer type errors or something so that I can still like do stuff in my terminal, because now it's like everything's broken until I fix that. No, that's there. Get it. So yeah, sequence. So that's the other thing I was thinking of, is I could get a list of IOs and then an IO of lists. But then won't this return an IO of list? And it's going to complain that it's not IO of unit? Yeah. So can I just do like yeah, I don't know. How do I like throw away that list? I'll map const. Like map const like here. Or like this. Let me see what I need to return from here to do. Wait, so map const unit and then this. I'm lost. I mean, I could do fmap, right? Yeah. Okay, this feels really messy though. Not map, you went to map over IO. Not sure I'm following that. Maybe let me start over here. So let me say let me just do this. FPC. So I think I'm gonna have to pattern match here. So I'm gonna throw a to do here, and then I'm gonna do that. All the types. after sequence. Oh, duh. Yeah, sorry. I'm kind of curious to go down this rabbit hole for a second. How's the mic volume, by the way? Is it okay, or is it too loud, too soft? Expression to do. It's okay. Okay, good. So I just need to return an IO unit. So yeah, let me just go back to the solution we had, because I think I just got mixed up there. So then I should be able to do, so sequence gives me an IO of list, and then I just fmap const unit there. It's soft for me on the phone without headphones. Okay. Yeah, I was just looking on OBS and it looks kind of low. I think I can boost the gain a little bit by doing this. Now I'm kind of like hitting into the yellow range. Let me know if that's better. That seems, it looks to be better. So let me know if that's too loud now. Pedro says, why? Why is it too soft? Oh, Pluminator says much better. Is it too loud for you, Pedro? Much better now. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm not really sure why it's expecting. Maybe it's not happy about this. See you later. Thanks for joining. Let's see. Okay, I think I just got it. I think we could clean this up though. Print files. Print files. So takes a list of these. So let's say I have file 1 and its contents, and then that's appended to file 2 and its contents appended to nil. File path chars. I think maybe it wants a, yeah, okay. That works. So I think we're gonna want, I think we want a new line right here. Reload. Yeah. Yeah, this is giving us the format in the example. Okay. What do you think, Pedro? Is there like a better way to do this? Like we're not map sequence and then const. Because print file returns this. Maybe we could use that write apply. Did you go over traverse? No. Whoops. Traverse is coming up. Oh, the scroll on. This is really slow. Yeah, traverse. We don't get to traversable for a while. Oh, but maybe there was traverse. Let's see, move panel left. Let's see. Have we done any of these? No, we haven't done any of these yet. So I guess traverse is the way to do that. Maybe I'll just leave this for now. And given a file name, fold map. I don't think we've done fold map either. So it doesn't appear to even be in the course. I mean, we could just do fold right, couldn't we? So let's try it. So we could say fold right, cons nil, x's. Except we don't care about the x's. Nil, I think, would just be IO unit. Void. Huh. Yeah, we did do void. I think I'm going to continue down this rabbit hole for a second. Yeah, so I think we could do this kind of thing instead of cons. This should work, right? Because it's just, I think we just ignore this. So this function should take the first element, like the element of this list, and then this IO unit, and then we just return IO unit. Maybe that's still not like the cleanest way to do it. Oh yeah, I don't need that comma there. Data constructor not in scope. Huh. Yeah, I guess I don't know how to create an IO yet. Prednaz, welcome. Sequence. Yeah, I don't think I have sequence yet, right? At least sequence underscore. We did sequence in this applicative module. I've heard of that before though. Yeah, I guess I won't. I guess I shouldn't belabor this because there's like, it seems like there's many ways to do this, and just many of them are not like at our disposal yet. Disposal. Prednaz sequence. Yeah, let me try that, or take a look at that. Sequence underscore. Okay, so it takes a foldable monad and then returns. So this could take like a list of IO unit and just return IO unit. Yeah, so that would be exactly what we need. But we don't have, I don't think we have that at our disposal. Yeah. So Prednaz, if you're new to the stream, we're going through this FP course, which let me pull up this. Yeah, this FP course by System F. And it's like this linear progression course. So we started out like making our own list type and our own optional, which is like, you know, like a maybe. And then, whoops, did I scroll past? So yeah, so we don't have a lot of the stuff yet that you might expect. So we did list, functor, applicative monad, and then like we're right here. So we've yet to get to all of these kinds of things. So yeah, I say let's just go with oh yeah, we could implement our own sequence. That's clever. Let's try it. So then let's see. Let me remind myself what the so this would be like a list of IO. So then we could go back to this map. So we could basically just do this. So we map over X's. And then this should give us a list of IO units. We sequence them with this, and that should work. Let's try it. Oh, foldr. Yeah, we don't have foldr. We have fold right because we made it ourselves. So let's see. Print files. Yeah. Yeah, that totally works. That's cool. Oh yeah, we could do pure. So we could do, I think I like that version. So borrowing from your example here, yeah, can I just do pure unit? Because this, if I fold right over X's, then this should return IO. Let's try that. Still doesn't like that. Okay. Yeah, okay. So why don't I do that? Replaces append by, yeah, it's constructor replacement. An empty list with the pure unit. Yeah, so I'm gonna borrow your solution here of using this sequence underscore, and then I think this pure is what I was missing because I couldn't construct an IO of unit. I'm gonna leave it as this since we haven't gotten to the traversable unit yet, but I will leave this comment here. So I'll say can achieve this. Is that right? This with sequence, which we haven't gotten to yet. Okay. Okay, yeah. Let's keep going. I don't want to get stuck on one thing too long. Let's see. Get file. So given a file name, return the file name and its contents. Whoops. So file path. In fact, I think I'm going to do extensions. And I'm going to turn off get lens because it's annoying me. Okay. Huh, now it's like messed up. There we go. Okay, so get the file path. Term file name, file contents. Use read file. So read file. Let's look at how read file works. File path, and it returns contents. Okay, so this should return the contents. But this will be an IO chars, and we want to pair it with this file path. So I think if I say takes the contents. I'm going to fmap it on. So then I just want to return this. Right? So this should return the contents, but it's inside this IO context. But I want to return IO this thing. So fmap inside the context, get the contents, and then construct a tuple like this. Let's see if that works. Yeah. So let's try that. Get file share files.txt. Nice. Okay, that works. Then get files. Given a list of file names. So we're just building up here. We're building up to the point where at some point the goal of this exercise. Oh, thanks for joining, Pedro. Yeah, no pressure. Appreciate your patience. Okay, so the ultimate goal is we read one file that has a list of file names in it, and then we read each of those and then concatenate all the contents into something like this. So we say this file has these contents and this one has these, etc. So getting there. Use get file. So take a list of file paths. Let's see. IO, I need to return an IO list of these things. Well, doing get file returns this, so I feel like I could get a list of these things and then sequence it. So if I map, get file over FPs, this should return a list of these things. And then I sequence it. Oh, shoot. Seemed to work. So if I do get files, and then I use my clunky list here, share a.text, share b.text, except this isn't how I do lists. It's like this. Nil. Okay, yeah. Seems to work. Very cool. Getting closer. Given a file name, read it, and for each line in that file, read and print contents of each. I mean, this basically does what we need to achieve, and then I guess we just use run here. Yeah. So we take a file path. Let's look at this. Yeah, so you don't print anything about the kind of this meta file. So you just say yeah, get file path. So then this will have this chars here. So if we get the contents of share, so share dot files or share slash files, then the contents of that would be this. That would be in here. So then we need to get at this, and then I guess we need to split, yeah, with lines. So we'll need to get split into lines, and then that will be a list of file paths, and we pass it to get files. Okay. So maybe what I'll do is throw a type tool here. Seems like a good idea. So it's IO, X is IO file path chars. So I think what I'll do is I'll fmap this lambda into this context and then pattern match so I can get these chars. So then if I pattern match on X, so since I'm fmapping, I'm getting inside this IO context, and then I can pattern match, throw away the file name because I don't care, and then get C's here. And then C's, well, let me just run it again. Okay, so C's is just chars now, which is what I need to run lines on to get this like list of file paths. Lines, not in scope. Say to do see where that gets us. Okay, so this to do should be a function that takes a list of chars and returns a unit. Get files takes a list of file paths, which is chars, and doesn't return unit. But we need to print them. Okay, so then we go a little deeper. So we have the chars, which I'm going to call CS prime. And then I needed to call get files. Yeah, so maybe I'll just do get files on the result of lines. Then this should give me this type, IO list of these. And then I need to print files. So then I can fmap print files into this context here. Whoops. Print files. Oh, this is exciting. Get files. I think maybe I need the precedences. No. Okay. Actual type IO. So maybe I should be applying instead of fmapping. Classic. What's classic? Using fmap instead of apply. Nested IOs. So what did I do wrong there? Let's go back. So I have these nested IOs. So do I want to bind instead? So I could do left bind. Because then this, if I left bind on this, so this KA would be a IO of this tuple, file plus and chars. And then I could pass it a function that takes that tuple and then return some IO. So I get the contents out of this. So C's would be get file, so it'd be chars. And then I'm calling lines and chars, which gives me an array of strings. And then I call get files on the array of strings, and that gives me this IO of list of file path and chars. So if I bind left on that again, then that should give me just this list of file path and chars, and then I pass that to print files. And then that ultimately returns this IO, which should fulfill this, right? I think that logic was sound. Compiles. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is so exciting for me. I know it's like, oh, yes. Wait, so this only did the first one though. Oh, maybe that's why. Huh. So are we throwing away the other IO effects? What did we do wrong here? So we did get file, right? Get files. Get files works correctly. What about get file? Yeah, get file returns this. So what happens if we call lines on that? That seems to work. And if we call get files on the result of lines, contents of A, contents of B, and then we call print files on that. So if I'm fmap, okay, so Prednaz, do you have any recommendations? Let's see. Parentheses. Is that all it is? So if I store this in X and then I look at X, that's X is IO list. And then print files. So was it my parentheses were off? That's why I thought like, oh, okay, so I need to do that. No. Oh, fmap. I need to fmap it. Yeah, but then see that doesn't print anything. X is an IO of IO. Maybe there's something wrong with our print files. So this should take a list of file path and chars. So let's just do this. I know this is super messy, but yeah, okay, so it's something's wrong with print files where it's only printing the results. Oh, because see, we're throwing away this IO. I don't know why I thought that just like wouldn't matter. Interesting. The lambda. Yeah, so we're throwing this away, but we need just a single IO. So what do we do with this? So maybe we take it. and then we do like this write apply on it. So then we like use it because we got to throw something away, right? But if we evaluate it, let's try that. Okay, so that works. So what happens if we use left apply? I'm curious. Is it going to print it in like the wrong order? No, it still prints it in the right order. So then why? It feels weird, right? It's just like you need to evaluate these IO. As long as you evaluate them, you just can throw them away. Like, and it doesn't matter which order you throw them away. That seems really weird to me. Like this solution, I think makes more sense. The difference is just the return value. Are they all like but so doing left apply and right apply doesn't change the order of evaluation then? Because obviously it matters what order we evaluate these. Right, so it's just yeah, so it's just changing which one we return, but they're both IO unit. Right? So effect order is not affected. Effect order is not affected. Yeah, so yeah, that's... Am I weird for thinking that's weird though? So with this solution, it makes more sense to me because it's like, okay, map this lambda over the list, and then we print. I guess you're mapping left to right. So then you print the first one. So then after you finish mapping, you have this list of IO, and then you sequence them, and then we're throwing them away here. Yeah. Okay. I guess maybe I shouldn't think that's so weird, but so then now our now run should work, right? I'm so lazy. I'm just going to keep hitting up until... Okay, that works. Look at that. I think we have a little bug where we're doing 2 new lines instead of 1. But that shouldn't matter. Where's that second new line coming from? I don't know. Yeah, this is really exciting because it's... I mean, so far in the course, we've just been doing kind of these very abstract, learning about these type classes. Ah, that's annoying. Just lost my spot. Yeah, so learning about these type classes, building our own list and whatever. But then now we just did something pretty useful. I mean, reading and writing files. I mean it's very, very simple, obviously. But I mean, this would just take a few lines of JavaScript, but I mean, it didn't take that much Haskell either, but it's just I mean, I have like absolute confidence that this. I have absolute confidence that this will work because it compiles. You know, it's just like the safety of it, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's not. I mean, it's not that simple, right? If you're like a very beginner JavaScript, JavaScript beginner, and you got this exercise, which was like, read a file that's a list of files and then read all those files and then concatenate them and then print all that out. Like, it's not that simple, but yeah, it does feel like a validation of like, okay, this stuff is actually useful. Like, there's a reason we are learning. It's kind of like the Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. And it's like, okay, remember all this stuff about monads and applicatives and stuff you learned? Like, well, here you go. It's cool. So now all we have to do is implement main, which should use run. So main just has a single type. It's not a function. It's just an effect. So I guess we need to call get args, which then grabs the file path. So then I get args. So get args takes a list of strings. I guess I could use like the do notation, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna stick with this. So then, see, get args. So maybe I should say, like, if you give me an empty list, then I say error, provide a file name. Otherwise, I just use the file path and just do run fp. Okay. So if I run main now, so I have to do this colon main, I guess, because do you know, Prednaz, like why I can't just call the main function here? I guess because it requires this interaction with the user. So you have to like do this and simulate. So if I call main without any arguments, I see provide a file name, which is yeah, so I guess if you just I guess if I did main, I was just expecting it to say like just have a cursor sitting there waiting for me to type like a chomp or a get args. Yeah. So like if I do get args, does it just blow up? Oh, okay. Whatever. Yeah, so that's cool. So if I called main with no arguments, we see the error that I'll make it a little bit more polite. And then if I pass it share.files.txt, here we go. Are you all ready? Oh, there it is. First Haskell program. If anyone's looking for a Haskell developer, just hit me up on LinkedIn. My CV will be a copy of this file and the outputs of this program. So get args contains the args. So this is what main will see when, yeah, I think I get that. So I guess what I want to figure out now is like why there's these two new lines here. So if I remove that, I think this will just have no, oh, that still works. Maybe because this put string line, does it automatically like add a new line to the end? I'm curious. String line. Pedro says, now you're ready to write a blogger clone. Yeah. I'll just make my Twitter clone in Haskell. No, this is really satisfying though. This feels really good. Baby steps, but so then, okay, this says, was there some repetition in our solution sequence composed with fmap, void sequence fmap factored out? I'm not totally sure that we do. I mean, I feel like if we had done this solution, like const fmap over sequence and map, this feels like very redundant to me. This feels less redundant. I don't know if I'm justified in feeling that way, but that's the way I feel about it. I mean, prednaz, like that solution feels superior, but I just didn't want to use like something we hadn't built in the course yet. A sequence composed with map is in there somewhere. Yeah, I guess because we're using this write apply. 105. Oh yeah. You're right. Yeah. So can we is there anything we can do to fix that? Also, is there a way to cabal? So I have GHC up. I want to install HLint. This isn't working because when I switched to Ubuntu, I switched to like GHC up instead of stack. Installer update. GHC up. So I have cabal, so let me try that. Or I should. So cabal help. Cabal install HLint. There you go. That should do it, right? Anyways, I feel like maybe HLint would be smart enough to like recommend like refactorings for that. But yeah, how do we simplify this? how do we do that? So let me remind myself how sequence works. This is confusing. Okay, so sequence does fold right. I can remove FPs. Oh yeah. Is there any way to avoid this though? Sequence map? I mean, he doesn't mention sequence map, just sequence fmap. HLint's taking a good amount of time. Yeah. Factor it out. Oh, so are you seeing the HLint on your side and it just says factor it out? Sequence. No. Okay. Oh, last line, factor it out. So what does that mean though? I don't know. I'm struggling to see. So rather than using sequence, I mean, we could just use fold again, right? Get files is wrong. Yeah, I mean, make it its own helper function. Yeah. But I'm just wondering if, I mean, instead of doing sequence map, we could just use fold right directly. Like, I mean, so get files. If we did fold right, cons nil. So then this would just be pure nil, I think. I'm just going to leave it for now. Nil. Let's reload this. Oh, come on. Why you do this? Okay, so nil is expecting this. So I think we can just say pure nil because nil is a valid list and then pure will lift it. Pure nil. Is this dumb? I mean, should I not do this? Should I just make sequence map its own function? Like, I mean, it just feels like, I don't know. I kind of like this idea. So I will persist. So then cons, that should be a function from IO list file path chars to this. No, from file path. Yeah, so then this should take our file path and our, I'm just going to call it X's, basically the IO so far. Maybe I'll just call it IO. I just do get file fp, and then I can just write apply with IO. I mean, that works. So then, does run still work? No, it doesn't do anything. Oh, because I need to actually append. Like, I'm not supposed to throw it away. So get file returns this. Yeah, so I mean, what do you all suggest? I can just leave it as this sequence, map over it, and then sequence. I mean, this is really succinct. This is all interesting, but you're not solving the problem of repeating yourself. So then, I guess I don't see where I'm repeating myself. Yeah, I mean, I could take this out, right? And I could say foo sequence map. I mean, is that... Oh, 92 also does that? Oh, but yeah, I mean... Yeah, I mean, I went with this fold, right? Because I thought it was better, but because this const f mapping const over this thing just felt like messier. Let's see. Yeah, I think what I'll do now is just go over the Tony solutions and see what I can learn. And because I'm sure that he'll have done it in a more succinct way. I mean, Prednaz, was this what you were thinking? It's just like do this sequence map thing and then throw that in there. I mean, that, let's see if that works. Oh, you're right. Yeah, I need to do this. Delete line. Control Shift K. Okay. Yeah, that is all they are asking for when they say factor out. Sorry for the delay in the chat. No, that's not your fault. Yeah, it's just kind of the reality of doing a live stream where we're like sort of pair programming. Sequence map was right. Let's see what the solutions say. Yeah, I'm kind of interpreting his like factor it out is like, were you doing like a sequence after F mapping? Maybe you could just use like a bind instead. Or maybe, no, bind I guess wouldn't be a drop-in replacement for those. Maybe, I think maybe he was saying like, yeah, I don't know. Just be efficient with your, with the solutions you choose. So I'm going to move the chat for a minute so that you can see. Oh, the chat is delaying a lot. Let's see. Master, view code, source, course. FileIO. Okay. The scroll is really slow. Okay, so he does put string line. I think this is actually what Pedro's suggested. Doing this and then doing the write apply. Oh, that's actually kind of clever because put string line does the new line for us. By doing this solution, you avoid having to specify this new line, which is kind of neat. That's funny. He had void sequence. So small I can't see my own code. Uncurry print file. Interesting. Because print file takes these two arguments. If you uncurry them, then it'll take this. It changes the input to this tuple. Void sequence fmap. So when he says, was there some repetition? Let's just keep going here. Get file. Lift to fmap. Interesting. Yeah, so is this like a language pragma, this syntax? No, I guess. No, that's just the regular tuple constructor. Yeah, I'm struggling to understand this this one. Get file. So he's lifting fmap and then yeah. Yeah, there's like a tuple section language pragma, right? Where you can just put in one of the arguments. So get files. Yeah, I guess I keep using map for this when I could just use fmap. It's more generic. Run file. So he's using this do notation, which I don't fully understand yet. I know it's kind of like doing binds under the hood. Yeah, so read file. I didn't use read file. So read file. Yeah, because I'm just throwing away. Get files is the thing. Get file like returns this thing, and if we don't need the file path, we just need the chars, then we can just do read file instead. And then that just turns that into C's. Make sure it still works. Yeah. Prednaz says that is a mean line. Which line? This one? See, let's see if HLint finished yet. So then if I reload this window, cannot HLint the Haskell file. So then maybe if I do this, use the Haskell HLint executable path setting. Oh, there we go. That's cool. Oh, the lift A2. Yeah, that's in his solution. Lift A2, like lifting fmap. I don't get that. So let's see what HLint tells us. Actually, let me format. Let's see what format does. Format doc. No, formatter. Reload. Whatever. I'm getting distracted. Do this later. Okay, so HLint wants tuple section. Use map m. Place with map m get file. Let's check that out. Actually, did I have that open? Yeah. I don't think it's going to be in here, but it probably is in regular GHCI, which is in this terminal. So if I do map m, interesting. So it takes this f and a foldable, like a mappable, yeah, functor foldable, traversable. Yeah, so it takes a traversable T. Yeah. Is this like fold map? Oh, fold map is for monoid. We haven't really covered monoids. Anyways, I don't think I'm going to use the map m since we haven't built it yet. Move brackets to avoid $. Oh, okay. I can do that, hlen. Thank you. Reload. Map him is more like sequence map. Okay, so get file. So his run, he just used content, read file, file name, get files. Maybe I should like, I don't know if that's ugly. Yeah, so we're doing this read file, and that's where we get the content. But by doing this do notation, then he can just do this syntax. Now he has this content like variable. Instead, we have to like wrap it and like keep going inside like that. Get files, lines, content. Yeah, that's the same thing. And then results, we were just sending to print files. Yeah, so that's the same thing. And actually, couldn't we just use write bind instead? So we could do run fp equals fp, not fp, read file fp, and then we could write bind that. And then counter run. Hi there. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. We just wrapped up this FileIO module. So making progress. So we're doing this FP course, and then let's get to that. Yeah. So last time we did monad, and we just wrapped up this FileIO one. So we're just playing around with like refactoring. Like these are the solutions to the exercises, and we were just comparing the solutions to what we came up with, and we were talking a little bit about do notation. So I'm wondering if I do write bind here, if that's somehow more helpful. Yeah, because then I could do like CS or like content maybe. Get files, lines, content. And then what do I get from out of this? Results. I can just pass that to print files, right? Oh, cool. It looks like my formatter's working now. Let's see if I like add new lines, if the formatter will. Kind of works, I guess. Can I like add or reduce this to like get files after lines? Curious. Whoops. Save. Will this work? Wrong terminal. Cutter asks, how long are you programming in general? So I have been a professional software developer for 6 years ish. And I've just kind of like recently started learning Haskell for fun. Okay, that compiles. Oh, that still works. Cool. So this is kind of, I think this is a good illustration of why write bind is like maybe better, like more useful or more readable than left bind, because like left bind we put, we have read file all the way at the bottom on the right, and then the function it returns, it's like we have to put a lambda up here, where this reads much more like read the file, then do this thing, which gets the lines, get the files, and then do this thing. It's kind of cool. I usually use Rails and JavaScript and TypeScript, like so doing like Rails and React, like full stack. My previous job before my current job, I was doing like Node, like microservices, like AWS Lambdas, like data processing stuff with Node. How about you? Are you software engineer? Big jump from Rails to Haskell? Yeah, it is. It's going from, I mean, even really like I don't have that much experience in TypeScript even, so I've done some stuff in some stuff in Elixir, which was kind of like my first introduction to functional programming, and I just kind of fell in love with it. It's software engineering for 10 years, Haskell around 5 years. That's awesome. Do you do Haskell professionally or just for fun? I tend to ask people on chat that question. So yeah, I think this is a better solution, but the do notation is nice too. Haskell for personal projects. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I would really like to, after doing this course, to do like a small project work is a lot of C#. Do you ever get to use F#? F# looks really cool to me. Scott Vlashin, F# for fun and profit. Yeah, I guess it depends on your work and your teammates and whatever. Using last year, I've been using F#. That's awesome. Yeah, so this website, Scott Vlashin, his talk, like functional design patterns, that was really kind of paradigm shifting for me, and it made me want to explore it more. It just looked, and this railway oriented programming talk, all of his talks are really good. And I have to say F# looks really clean. I like the syntax of it. But yeah, I would love to convince coworkers to use like a strongly typed functional language, but it's just so like, it's so far away from Rails. It's like, it'd just be such a huge shift. I think Scala would be the closest thing, like, or the thing that they would be closest to considering. I think because we actually have a Kotlin. We have like a Kotlin service randomly, and there's a lot of interest in like JVM tools. So maybe I should try to push Scala. Cool. So I think we're done with this FileIO module. That was pretty quick after I got all my language problems, like in dev environment problems, sorted. I'm going to actually look at this state module and see how long it is. I don't know if we'll have time for that. No, it's pretty hefty. I don't think I should try to dive into it yet. I think what I'll do is I'll call it quits here for this stream, and I'll still hang out and chat, but I think I'll be done with the course for now. And then maybe I'm planning on doing like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, Wednesday, Saturday streaming. So by Monday, hopefully I'll have squared away some of my technical issues. I have not used Nix. So I just switched over from Mac. I was streaming this course on like a 2013 MacBook, and switched to using Ubuntu, and all the hotkeys and stuff are messing me up. But Nix looks really cool. I want to try it out sometime. What's your experience with Nix? Nix for Mac OS. Oh, that's cool. So the package manager, not the OS. I should try it out. So would you so if you're using Nix on Mac OS, what would be like, would you use it instead of Brew, for instance? Would it be like a drop-in replacement for Brew? And then you could just have like a config file. Basically use configuration.nix to install stack, and then use stack normally. That's what prednaz does. So, oh, that's not a site. Very hard to install replacement for Brew. That's true. It's such a useful tool. So would that get messy then if you're like mixing Nix with Brew? Oh, it's doing a lot better job than Brew. Your opinion? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so maybe I'll just dive in and try to use Nix on my OS. I want to see like example Nix config file. Oh, not Nginx. Maybe I should use Google for this one. NixConf. Oh, but this is configuring Nix itself. Nix bills. Yeah. I should give it a try. Purely functional package manager. So you just use this instead of brew, like you install like Postgres and your like language version managers and npm and everything. Yeah, this looks really cool. Looks very stable. It does look like there's a bit of a learning curve though. Where can I see like an example? Whoa. Nix packages repo. Wonder if there's like insights. Wonder if there's a way to see the total size. I had a PR for Nix packages for a function called VS Code environment. That lets you define a VS Code instance that will come with all extensions. Oh, that's sick. Oh, I missed a question from Predness. Can we see the Haskell extension settings of the VS Code extension? So this is like an example Nix file. Wow. So it's like, wow, that's really cool. Cabal to Nix. fonts. Yeah, I got really well acquainted with Pulse Audio recently, trying to get this mic working. Yeah, I might have to spend all of tomorrow like installing doing a new partition, installing like NixOS on this machine. Oh gosh. NixOS can do more than the Nix package manager. What do you mean? Start with installing the Nix package manager. So just start by installing Nix package manager and then move over that way. This is really cool. Yeah, see if you like it. So, I agree. The idea of Nix is very cool. It feels like the inevitable next step because as things get more complicated, you just need more stability and certainty around your systems. Like, I mean, within like infra as code, like Terraform, and being able to bootstrap up like entire systems, and NixOS makes a lot of sense. Or Nix makes a lot of sense. So do you just use the one package manager to rule them all? So yeah, the VS Code extension settings. Sorry, I forgot. Extension. Haskell. What is the formatter? Yeah, let me pull it up. I have a bunch of. Yeah, I don't think I have any settings. I think it just kind of worked out of the box. So, let's see. GHC up. So if I open the this UI for GHC up, I installed Haskell language server. And then of course I did the cabal install hlint. And then need to use the GUI to see the default settings. So is this what you want to see? Haskell snippets, format on import. Oh, formatting provider Ormalu. Which one do you prefer? Good night. Ormalu. Stylish Haskell. Floskell. Yeah, I've heard a little bit about Liquid Haskell, but get diagnostics. No, so when I didn't have HLN installed, it was saying, well, you're right, maybe so. So then if I do, is it just Cabal uninstall? Load report. No, I never installed an HLint. I just did Cabal install HLint. Maybe I don't need it. But yeah, I mean it's working, so I wonder what happens if I turn this liquid on. Yeah, all I had to do is yeah, so I did Cabal install HLint, and then I passed an executable path here. Haskell linter. Oh, extensions. This one? Good call. Let's see if it still works. Okay, yeah, that changed some things. This I don't understand. I guess you can't see it because my camera's in the way. No cradle. Proceeding with implicit cradle. Whatever. Ignore this message, so. Cool. Cool. Well, thanks for joining. I think I'm going to call it a night, and then I'll be back on Monday and try to tackle this state module. See how it goes. Thank you both for joining and for your insights. I might have to try out NixOS now. Oh, I spent so much time setting this up though. Yeah, of course, no problem. Have a good night or good day wherever you are, and I'll catch you next time. Yeah. Nice to meet you, Count Oren. See you next time.